J.D. Vance just went on Meet the Press, and of course Kristen Welker tried to give him question after question to essentially call him out and try to ruin things for him, but J.D. kept his cool, and I want to show you a very brief part of this conversation that really shows you how hard she tried to get him and how well he knew how to answer things. I'm a pretty big fan of JD, and honestly, I'm not a Republican. I consider myself a libertarian, but man, this guy knows what he's doing, so let's jump into it.
National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said in March that, quote, Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Democratic Senator Mark Warner, the vice chair of the Intelligence Committee, said he was briefed on Monday that, quote, the intelligence hasn't changed. So why launch this strike now? Has the intelligence changed, Mr. Vice President?
And notice he does this now. Up until now, she's been saying things like, well, all that we heard, the intelligence was just that they happen to be working with nuclear, basically the ingredients to make a nuclear bomb. But of course they're not going to nuke anyone. They're just working with the ingredients. And after asking all of this, she now moves over to this question to really try to get him. Hey, well, one person said they don't agree with you, which, by the way, Tulsi Gabbard later came out and said that was a statement from long ago, but here we go.
Well, a couple of things about that, Kristen. So what Tulsi said back in March is that Iran was producing highly enriched uranium that was only consistent with them wanting to build a nuclear weapon. There's, of course, an open question about whether they were weeks away, whether they were months away, but they were way too close to a nuclear weapon for the comfort of the President of the United States, which is why he took this action. Now, it's like, oh, well, we're making bullets and guns, but we're not going to shoot anyone. Another element here, too, Kristen, which is that we had a narrow window of opportunity. We might not have been able to carry out this attack 6 months down the road. And so when you recognize, on the one hand, the Iranians are trying to get a nuclear weapon, and on the other hand, we have a narrow window in which we can set that program back a very long time, it would have been irresponsible, I think, for the president not to take the action that he did, which is why Fordo was destroyed last night.
And this is one of those tough things where I hate war all over. My stance is war is bad. I don't like it, doesn't matter. But this is a situation where we're trying to take care of things before it escalates, because what happens when they get a nuke and they start making threats? That doesn't go well for them.
Be very clear, did the president say go based on U.S. intelligence or Israeli intelligence?
Here's where she tries to trick him. She thinks he's going to say Israeli, by the way, and then she goes, oh, we gotcha!
Well, of course, we share intelligence with a lot of agencies, British, Israeli, and so forth, but it was our intelligence that motivated us to act. And I think on the intelligence, Kristen, the thing that I would really emphasize is the way in which the Iranians seem to be stonewalling us. That was not, by the way, our consensus back in March of this year. We saw the Iranians making some concessions. We thought the conversations were actually productive. By mid-May, everybody in our intelligence community and the president's senior team looked at ourselves and said, the Iranians are not being serious. They're no
and they were clearly stalling for time, by the way. What they were hoping to do is stall for time as long as they could until they finished it and then go, ha, gotcha!
No longer making concessions. They're no longer actually responding to some of the offers that we're making. If you believe, as we did, that the Iranians are rushing towards a nuclear weapons program while simultaneously refusing to negotiate, how could we do anything but take serious action against this program?
Do you and President Trump trust the U.S. intelligence community and its assessments?
I'm just letting that one sit with you for a moment. Look at her face, by the way. Do you trust the intelligence community?
Of course we trust our intelligence community, but we also trust our instincts.
Look, here she tries to cut him off. I wanted to pause there. Notice that she tries to cut... She keeps doing this where she's about to try to cut him off, and then the camera from the studio cuts over to him because they're like, shut the hell up. Watch.
And most importantly, we trust what the intelligence was telling us about the Iranians stonewalling the negotiation. I think that is...
Her producer probably told her to chill, honestly. Really, there was someone behind the scenes. And they have a bug in their ear. Like
story here, and something the media has got to report a little bit more here, is that the Iranians stopped negotiating in good faith. That was the real catalyst.
Not only that, they stopped negotiating. They were like, well, let's kind of keep it going.
I think, to what the president ultimately decided to do. If we were having a productive negotiation,
Exactly.
I think that this could have gone in a much different pathway. Unfortunately, the Iranians decided to stonewall us, and we saw the consequences of that last night.
And I think JD said it really well during the interview where he was saying, and I believe this as well, it's not the Iranian people, it's the Iranian government we have an issue with. That's why we went to the facilities, actually got rid of those facilities, and did not take out hostages, didn't take out civilians, anything like that. Because that is not the goal. It is not the Iranian people's fault that their government is being stupid. But I really want to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.